Hello, everybody. This is Bimbo Barbarella, and it is Tuesday. No, Monday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Monday, February 7th at 5 o'clock. I am doing this show now because I was going to do a show on Saturday because I did have some people wanting to come on Saturday, but I didn't. Because Saturday I was in a very bad mood because within an hour I found two dead animals on my street. One was a squirrel, and I have lots of squirrels on my property, and there's one little squirrel that always comes up when I'm sitting out on the picnic table, and I don't feed him out of my hand, but I'll put a peanut down and he'll come up and take it. And it's been rainy and cruddy here for the last 3 days, and I haven't been out there to do that. So I hope it wasn't my little friend who comes up and takes the peanut from me. I don't know. I hope not. Hello, Leah Sugar. How are you, dear? And then not 50 minutes later, farther down the road, I was just riding my bike like I try to do at least a couple of laps a day, and there's a dead cat laying in the road. And around here there's a lot of woods, and so I got off the bike, and he didn't look like anybody, he or she, I couldn't tell. The cat didn't look like anybody who I fed, so it was just some poor stray cat. So I rode back, got the shovel, got a bag, put him in the bag, and had to bury him. So I had to bury a squirrel and a cat within an hour of each other. How did they die, Sugar Britches? On our road, our street here is very long, and there's twists and turns. And there's a couple of rental houses on the street, and there's people driving down this street at least 40 to 50 miles an hour. And there's a lot of kids that are on the street. And I just pray that one of these kids don't get hit. Because nobody's going to do anything if animals get killed. Really not. But if some kid gets killed or injured, then they might do something, put up a sign, maybe have a patrol car. But, of course the county doesn't have any money. They're broke. So they won't do that. Unless it's a politician's kid. And there's no politicians that live on this street. If it was a politician's kid, that something would get done. But nobody cares if they, kill little animals. They really don't. So, I was in no mood to do a show on Saturday. And I'm still, just so depressed over that. It's just hurts my feelings when I see animals like that get killed, and people just don't care. They just don't care. And this might get me in trouble when I say this, but I really don't care whether I get in trouble or not for saying this. It would be easier for me to kill a human than to kill an animal. And that's just the way I feel. That's just the way I feel, because animals don't deserve to die. Hello, Miss Rita. How are you, dear? Hello, Jackie. And I'm just explaining why I didn't do a show on Saturday, because I was very depressed. Um, so I was gonna do a show Saturday about like favorite movies that we have. And like I said, oh, Rita, within the span of an hour, I found two dead animals laying on the road, and I had to pick them up and bury them. I swear to God, I got like a whole pet cemetery. It's not funny, but it is. I have a whole pet cemetery on like part of my property. But I'm nice to them, so I know that they won't come back and bite me. Maybe bite some other people. Exactly, Lee. Humans have the ability to piss you off, and animals don't. Yes, I mean, you know, because animals will love you unconditionally, whereas people love you as long as they can take something or get something from you. Now, Rita, like I was saying, the street I live on is very long, and there's renters here who, drive down the road like 40, 50 miles an hour. And I know where they live because I've seen their cars. But, I don't want to start anything with anybody like that because they might be, psychotics. And that's all I need. I'm already dealing with a psychotic in my house because poor Al's Alzheimer's is getting worse and worse by the day. Yes, exactly, Lee. Yeah, they always want something in return. Animals, all they want is to, just, be fed and, be loved. And that's why I, kind of think that dogs and cats and animals are just waiting for us to kill ourselves off, which the way we're going is not going to be, that much longer. And then they'll just take over the world. So, but anyway, I'll do my little presentation of my 5 favorite movies of all time, because that's what I was going to do Saturday. And some of these I'm sure you've heard of, some of them you probably haven't. And some of you know me pretty well. They're not the really kind of movies that you would think that I would like. But these are my 5 favorite movies of all time. Now, they're in no kind of order. My poor fur baby Charlie has bit me twice, but my ex abused him while he was trying to find a place to stay. So, yeah, see? And so what is Charlie, a dog or a cat or... I mean, because I think that animals, if people have a caring heart, you can even be friends with a wolverine or a honey badger. I don't know, a honey badger maybe not, just because I think honey badgers are just born mean. Well, hopefully it wasn't, a bad bite. But okay, so getting to my 5 favorite movies, and if you guys have any comments on some of your favorite movies, feel free to post them. Hello, Miss Honey. How are you, dear? The first movie, like I said, there are no specific order, is North by Northwest. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie with Cary Grant, and everybody knows the scene of them up on top of Mount Rushmore. The movie is just fantastic, and all of these movies I could just watch over and time again and never tire of them. Yeah, you probably have. You probably have. Maybe you weren't paying attention. It's got Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, James Mason. I'm sure you've probably seen it. Next one is rather old. The next two are kind of old. The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart and and Mary Astor. If you remember this one, he plays the detective Sam Spade, and they go after this statue. And just very, very entertaining. It's got some of the greatest lines that you've ever heard in movies, especially coming from Humphrey Bogart. He's done a couple of good movies. Casablanca, Sierra Nevada. Just very, very good movies. Another one of my 5 favorites is another older one. And it actually won Academy Award for Best Picture and Best Actress in 1944. Best Actress was Barbara Stanwyck, if you remember her. Starring Fred MacMurray, called Double Indemnity. And Fred MacMurray, early in his career, he did a lot of very serious drama. It wasn't until he was on My Three Sons where he started doing more comedy and things like that. But this one here, he plays a insurance salesman who plots and schemes with Barbara Stanwyck to kill her husband to get the insurance money, but they're both just greedy and in it for themselves, and it's great because it's got a outstanding performance by Edward G. Robinson, and everybody knows who he is from the old movies. He always played like a gangster, but here he played a insurance salesman. Okay. Now this is a new movie, and this is I could watch this, like I said, any of these movies I could just watch over and over again. Everybody's seen this movie because it's new. Tombstone, with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, Powers Booth, Sam Shepard, and it's just, I really don't like westerns, but this is just so good just because, actually, yes, okay, yeah, okay, Sugarly, yeah, Miss Sugar Britches. It does kind of sound like Body Heat. It's almost like the same kind of premise. I don't know if Body Heat might have been a remake of it even, because I've seen Body Heat, and yeah, it's pretty much the same premise. I don't know. I never thought of that before, but it could be, like they did a sequel, but just change the name, because the worst thing is when they do sequels of movies, and the sequels always are terrible. Well, always terrible, but most of them are. That's it. That's it. That's it. And that is my favorite line in the whole movie. Yeah, man, is because Val Kilmer says it twice in the movie. He says, "I'm your huckleberry." Yes, yes, he says it to Johnny Ringo, because Johnny Ringo says, "Ain't you got any heart? Ain't you? Don't any of you want to play for blood?" And that's when Val Kilmer goes up to Johnny Ringo and says, "Why, I'm just your huckleberry. That's my game." And then Kurt Russell, he says, "You tell him that I'm coming for him. I'm coming to get him. And you tell him that I'm bringing hell with me." Yes, Coach, and yeah, man, these are both great movies. Great movies. Okay, my final movie is from 1933. It is the original King Kong. Yeah, Sugar Birches. I like some westerns, not most of them. Not most of them. Some of the old westerns were good. Some John Wayne ones were good, like Rio Bravo. Um, um, no, actually, Jackie. Yes, that was Val Kilmer, who played Doc Holliday, and he was the one who had tuberculosis. Yes, Outlaw Josie Wales. Yeah, that was okay. That was okay. Okay, yeah, man. But Jack Black wasn't in this one. He was in the later one, the one with Peter Jackson, and I have that. That's fantastic. Because they did the one, oh, this one, and then did one in the 70s by Dino De Laurentiis, which wasn't all that great. And then there was the one by Jack Black, which was very, very, very good. So like I say, these are in no particular order. These are just some of my 5 favorite movies. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, actually, what you're doing, Coach, is you're just, describing somebody in Boyd wrestling. Because, we could name many good, bad, and ugly. um, some other movies that I like, The Shawshank Redemption, um, the original Journey to the Center of the Earth, made in 1960, with James Mason. The Ten Commandments is a fantastic movie. Um, 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 oh, I was just thinking about it. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I could watch that 100 times a day. But I'd probably run out of time, trying to watch it 100 times a day. Young Frankenstein, even though a couple of Mel Brooks movies could fit up there, Young Frankenstein was my favorite of all Mel Brooks's movie. And then probably one of the silliest movies in the history of silly movie making. Well, no, okay. There's also The Empire Strikes Back. But the silliest movie that I have ever seen is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. If you know any of the Kevin Smith movies, Hokey. Hokey, take me to Piggly Wiggly. What is that from? Yeah, man. Hokey, take me to Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, Blazing Saddles is fantastic. And I can throw in a couple other ones, newer ones. Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. My favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, though, is Django Unchained. Driving Miss Daisy. Well, I don't know. I really wasn't a fan of that, even though Morgan Freeman was classic. And that was one of his very first movies, believe it or not. Probably, I know some of the movies that I despise the most. One of them is everybody's favorite. Is Titanic. The one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Even though the actors were good, the movie was just too long, and it had some good parts in it. It was just too long. And another movie, Dances with Wolves. Yes, that was horrible. That was horrible. And then he did another one. They're called Dances with Wolves, which was completely horrible. The Postman. That was another Kevin Costner movie. Waterworld by Kevin Costner, I thought was actually good. Yeah, okay, Dances with Wolves isn't bad. But Postman is terrible. Waterworld, I actually liked. But like I said, the movie that I hate the most is Forrest Gump. And if that's your favorites, more power to you. I'm glad that you like it. But the last time that I had to sit and watch Forrest Gump, I was playing with a stapler at the time. I forget what I was stapling, but I ended up stapling my eyes shut so I wouldn't have to see that movie. And I'm not a fan of that many Tom Hanks movies anyway. Everybody thinks that he's so great. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his movies. Pride and Prejudice is my tops. Yeah, and now that's a good movie. I wouldn't include that in anywhere close to my favorites, but that's a movie that actually is good, but you have to be in the mood to watch Pride and Prejudice. And Honey Bunch says Titanic is okay, but she could have fit him on the board with her. Yeah, she should have. And you know what? And I've watched it a couple of times, hoping that just one of the times I watched it, she would have jumped. And then the movie would have been over, and I would have been spared, another 3.5 hours of watching it. Life is like a box of chocolates, yeah. Okay. I'll expect you to throw that into your next Boyd's commentary. Just somewhere. And just do it for me, please. Just say that life is like a box of chocolates. Come on, fit it in there somewhere. Because maybe not everybody would get it, but it would make me feel happy. Because like I said, I was in a bad mood because I had to bury 2 animals earlier. I like to watch period movies. Yeah, and I like some period movies too, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's a good period movie. Uh, Another Monty Python movie, Life of Brian. That's a good period movie. Why don't I like Forrest Gump? Uh, I don't know. I honestly don't know why I don't like it. I've just seen it and I don't know why I don't like it. And that's the best answer. If you want, I can ask, the old Magic 8 Ball. But, you know, but, you know, Magic 8 Balls are not that dependable. Yes. Oh, Life of Brian. Yes, that's great. Um, that's top month. Yeah, Monty Python. Um, Eventually, maybe I'll do a show about like box sets, because I have the entire box set of all the Monty Pythons. I've got a box set of all the Star Wars, which don't get me to rank in the Star Wars. And I ain't gonna do it here. If I do a show, I'll rank the Star Wars. I've got the entire box set of a show called Fringe. If you remember, that was a science fiction show back in like the 2010s, 2011, 12, 13. That was very good. I've got the entire series of a British show called Torchwood. I like Doctor Who. I've got the entire season of the David Tennant Doctor Who. I've got the entire season of a show called Falling Skies, which was a good science fiction show that was on TNT, I believe, in like the 2010, 11, 12s, around there. My Magic 8 Ball has so many bubbles it's so hard to read. I don't know. My Magic 8 Ball is probably hard to read because I've slammed it against the wall so many times. There, Jackie, that is probably broken. That's why it gives me bad answers. Do I like Britcom? I like there's a funny show, a British comedy, called Keeping Up Appearances. Okay, honey, yeah, and I love Torchwood and Doctor Who. It's called Falling Skies, coaches. I'm not Falling Shoes, but that's okay. There's a show called called Keeping Up Appearances. And it's just like a regular funny British sitcom, but the characters are so hysterical. Downton Abbey was good. Hello, Hot Mess Missy. Downton Abbey was good, but it really wasn't, I don't think, all that funny. It was a good show, but I was kind of hoping that it would be funnier. Well, surprisingly, I have a, decent crowd on a Monday at 5:30. I guess everybody's cold or let me see. Okay, so yeah, so you guys, so what's some of your like favorite movies? Because I got some of them. Coach, what's your two favorite movies, Coach? And they don't have to be in any order. Coach, what's your 2 favorite movies of all time? And yeah, man, you can throw in your 2 favorite movies as long as, they're not, silly things. Well, I don't know, maybe silly things. Lord of the Rings. Okay, yes, very good. And that's a whole box set that I have. Lord of the Rings, of course, and Shawshank Redemption. And you all know that that was a Stephen King short story. The name of the short story, it comes from one of his collection of, short story books. It was called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Because if you remember, they're all in the movie theater watching Rita Shawshank in a movie, and they say, I love when she does that flip with her hair. That's why it's called Rita Shawshank and the Shawshank Redemption. Oh yes, Coach. I have the extended versions. Yes, I mean, because they're, and I understand why Peter Jackson had to cut it, because there's so much more action, and it's a shame that, that just got cut. There was a lot of good fighting that got cut. And I like seeing movies with people fighting. Maybe that's why I like watching Boyd wrestling, because I like people fighting. Really ruined this. Oh, what I liked in the Two Towers, and people might not know what me and Coach are talking about. In the Two Towers, my favorite characters were the Ents. And you guys remember what the Ents were. Hello, Hot Mess Missy. So what are you cooking tonight? Okay, the Ents were these trees that could actually walk and talk. And they were the ones who actually took down the evil white wizard Saruman. Oh, Honey Bunch, you've never heard of Lord of the Rings? I'll actually write Chris Bliss a song about the Lord of the Rings, and then he can sing it for you. Oh, so some more fun I had today. Me and Al had to go to 2 doctor's appointments today. That was always fun. Wait till Tuesday. Oh no, it's tomorrow. I think I'll order takeout tonight. Yeah, okay, so what are you gonna cook tomorrow? And if you wanna... Oh, so what, you're gonna cook takeout tomorrow, Missy? Yeah. Coach says, I once went to watch Two Towers in the theater after drinking margaritas. I understand. Oh. Okay, Missy, why don't you put your link in here so anybody who doesn't follow you, which I think probably much everybody in here might anyway. So, no, but if you want to put your link in here, go ahead. That's fine. The mirror has 2 faces. I don't think I've seen that, Jackie. Oh, what's the premise of that? Yeah, okay, honey. Yeah, see, everybody knows Lord of the Rings. Jeez. Even Al has heard of Lord of the Rings. He's never seen them, but he knows what the Lord of the Rings are. Come on. And here's a man whose movie intelligence goes from like Smokey and the Bandit to My Cousin Vinny in episodes of Sanford and Son. And then he watches Pawn Stars and Who's the guys who go around and they go to people's houses and they buy garbage? Well, not garbage, but they buy like antiques and stuff. Barbara Streisand, Nick Nolte, and the family drama is mostly. I would quote Smoking the Bandit word for word when I was 6. Oh. And one of my favorite things is Jackie Gleason. Oh, with his stupid little son, he said, "Daddy, daddy, 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 my hat blew off." And he says, "I hope your goddamn head was in it." Something the Pickers, yeah. What's that show? American Pickers, I think, or yeah, I think that's what it's called that he watches. I think I'll be making a simple chickpea salad sandwich. That's it. You're just gonna make a sandwich. You're gonna make a 3-hour show out of making a sandwich. Well, you, Donna, and Phoenix better do something, more entertaining than just making a sandwich. Yeah, there is no way you could come from my loins. And then you got those 3 kids who Jackie Gleason pulls over because he sees them like stripping a car, and he says something about keep your hands on the thing and now don't touch yourself or something like that. Wizard of Oz, yes, Honey Bunch, yes, I do like that movie. I've seen that many times, and I do have the extended version of. Well, it's not an extended version, but it's like a 2-disc thing where they showed like the making of it, which was cool. Yeah, coaches. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. Was that an attention getter? I don't know. Does everybody know? That Missy almost burned down the kitchen. I must have missed that stream, honey. To Kill a Mockingbird, Rita. Yes, that's good. Hello, Mr. Lou Hammer. Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. I forgot about that. And I have that movie too. Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. That was a good movie. Forgot all about that. Oh, so this is good. Getting some, some good feedback with some cool people. 12 Angry Men. Was that the one with Jack Nicholson? No. No. Okay, what's the movie when Jack Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth"? I don't know, Sugar Bridges. I think that Wizard of Oz is a lot more adult than people think. Because especially when they're running through the field of poppies. Now, how many kids really know what poppies are? A Few Good Men. Oh, okay, so that was A Few Good Men. That's the only thing that I remember from that movie. Pansy was just after my stream and burned my sauce. It was horrible. I ate the crud for an entire week. Ew. Ew. You should have taken a picture of yourself eating crud and posted it somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe, sent a link out to somebody or to everybody that you know about you eating crud. Everything you need to know about life you can learn from The Wizard of Oz, yes. And you can also learn, that witches melt with water. So that's one thing that I learned, is that witches melt with water. One that's another good movie too. Rita, I've got that movie too. I don't have 3,500 movies, but I've got a ton of them. And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest has so many great lines. And but at the end is when Jack Nicholson realizes that the Indian can talk, and he says, "You son of a bitch, you had them all fooled." And then after Jack gets his lobotomy, um, he picks up that sink and throws it through the window and runs away. That oh that was such a climactic part of the movie. Those dang flying monkeys, yeah. Oh, really? I did not know that, Missy. Oh, what? Oh, what? So she got burned from the water? Actually, Jack Nicholson has made some very, very good movies. Hold on one second. Just let me show you something that that some of you might not know. I can find it. Here. This is one of his very first movies. The original Little Shop of Horrors. And that's Jack right there. If you ever watch this, it's not the funny one with like Rick Moranis and all that. Oh, this one is kind of funny, but it's not supposed to be funny. If you ever got to watch it, it's the original Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, let me see what other messed up stuff I can find that I got here in this drawer here. Here, I got some old Woody Woodpecker cartoons. Ha ha ha! This really isn't where all of my movies are, but now who remembers this old movie? March of the Wooden Soldiers, Laurel and Hardy. Now here's a great movie too. Oh, Russell Crowe, called A Beautiful Mind, if you remember that. Oh yeah, Hot Messy does. Oh, because they still play it. I just saw it this Thanksgiving. It was on I think TCM. I think it was on TCM. Oh, the Ewoks were Western. Well, I mean, they did, beat the Empire with sticks and clubs. So, yeah, maybe. Rocky Horror Picture Show, yeah. Oh, I've got that too. Yes, honey. And I've got the original soundtrack, from the movie, and I've got the soundtrack from the original London production, which has 4 or 5 different songs on that, songs that weren't in like the American release of the movie. Hello, Mamma Mia. The Gatekeeper. Oh, that's a cool name. Coach, not every movies are westerns. Not all movie with natives are western, but it can't be a western without natives. Missy says she suffered fire afterwards. After pain and suffering is from what I understand. Island of Dr. Moreau. Wow. Yes, that's obscure. That's a good movie. And if you guys don't know what Dr. Moreau is down in the Caribbean, this doctor, he invented some kind of serum that turned people into like animals. One was like a pig animal, one was like a wolf animal, one was like a coach animal or a yeah man animal. They were just, all different animals. Yeah, I'm owning it. A hater said I was a gatekeeper. Oh, hopefully it was one of the 7 gates to hell, Mamma Mia. Quit curling me, Shirley. And yes, Coach, and that's from Airplane. Quit curling me, Shirley. Uh, and that's when he says, "Oh, looks like I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue." So Airplane, yeah. And you know what? Airplane 2 really wasn't that bad. It got a lot of criticism, but it really wasn't that bad. Because that's when they were on a space shuttle and they ended up landing in some space station, and William Shatner was there as like the commander of the space station, which, yeah, I speak jive. And you know what's funny is the lady who I speak jive, if you don't know, was Barbara Billingsley from the Leave It to Beaver series. and what was funny in Airplane is there was that guy in the background, the real like flighty, like super flamboyant guy who just yelled all of these crazy things that almost made like no sense in the movie. Oh, okay, maybe somebody else got that guy. Up in Smoke, yeah. Yeah. I liked Up in Smoke, and they had another one called Nice Dreams, when they were selling drugs out of their like ice cream truck. Yes, I see that, Missy. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, because Mamma Mia, it was going to be my Saturday show movies, but I was depressed, and if people don't know why I was depressed, because I had to pick up 2 dead animals off the road within an hour. So, that's, because I just came on, I was just gonna do this and just, you know, but yeah, the bird that turned into an iguana. Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember that. We were just talking about the Blues Brothers. Oh, the Blues Brothers was class. and And so the Blues Brothers, is like they're driving their car through the mall. And so they're crashing into the building, and the guy says, "Oh, look, this mall has everything." And then they're in the tunnel after they do the show, and Carrie Fisher's there with the gun, and she's saying about how like Jake, just let her down. He says, "I couldn't do it. Oh, there was a flood. There was an earthquake. Locusts." Oh, thank you, Missy. Yeah, because it seems that you can't have a stream without that crap. Because everybody gets it. Because Yeah Man gets them, Coach gets them. Everybody gets them. So, this turned out to be a better show than I expected. Well, turtle time. Yeah, next time that you want to say something, think up something funnier than that. Because that was really lame. You wasted all your time to come up and try to spam me. Come up with some original shit. Christ. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But that was that was some troll there, Mama Mia and Jackie, so I got rid of him. But yeah, he wanted to know, when I realized, then I was a weirdo. Um, Probably when I was like 9 years old, and my mother was playing Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, um, Iron Butterfly, and other kids my age. They were, um, listening to the Osmonds and the Jackson Five and the Partridge Family. And so I had nothing in common with them, because here I am, singing Paranoid, finished with my woman, and other kids are singing, we're happy together. That's when I realized, though, that I was a weirdo. Bots are like mosquitoes. You get them, slap them, they go back to eating your potato salad. Yes, Young Frankenstein was, oh my God. And, Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles are movies that all of us could just throw so many quotes out. Donnie and Marie are creepy. Yeah, well, I mean, because she does like those, Weight Watchers programs. And, for somebody being 60 years old, she's really not looking bad for 60 years old. I don't know, because, Jesus Christ, I'm going to be 62 on the 13th. Believe that shit? 62 years old. But oh, okay, Mamma Mia and In Life and Brian. And you remember, like the Roman Caesar, who had like the real heavy lisp, and he was talking about his friend Biggest Dickus. Why? Do you all know my friend Biggest Dickus? And all the Roman centurions are just laughing and going crazy. Yes, exactly. And then there's another funny part in Life of Brian, in like he's like running away from like the Legion and stuff, and he runs up, this giant thing, and he falls off the building and he lands into an alien spaceship. And for like 2 minutes, they're driving him around the galaxy, and then they throw him out. He has his wife incontinentia. Yes, oh yes, I'm lucky to be here because after 5 years of going through a lot of cancer hell, and don't want to talk about my cancer, but I survived 7 cancers in 5 years. So, and one of my cancer doctors, she says, that's because I have such a strong constitution. And I kind of get what that means when she used that word, constitution. I just think that reason why I was able to live through that, it's just because I really don't care. I really don't care. I wasn't going to let that beat me. So, because Coach and Yeah Man, I've talked to them, for unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I've known them a little longer than I know, most of you guys. They know about all the cancer I've been through, so. Strong resolve, yes. And that is sort of like, the same thing as a strong constitution. So, but let's go back to talk about funny movies if you want. Because Al's feeding the cats, and poor Al, and and some of you, know that I've talked about like his dementia that he's going through. 7 more years till you're 69. Yeah. I can't wait to start making jokes about that. Like 2 months before, if I do get there, I'll start making jokes. Maybe 2 to 3 months before that. But so anyway, so I had to buy a new towel rack because the one that I had was plastic, and last year it broke. So I just kept taping it up with duct tape and stuff like that. And so finally it got to the point where it was more duct tape than plastic. So I went to Lowe's and I invested $8 to buy a new one. And so I was gonna put it up. Al says, "Oh, I can do it." And he means so well, but sometimes with his dementia, it's hard for him to do things. And he did it today. 4 hours. And I don't want to say it because he could be listening. It took him 4 hours to put up something that I could have done in 45 minutes. I mean, by the time that he put this up, I could have gone outside, built a cinder block shed, hooked up cable, hooked up electric, hooked up water, put in a bed, taken a nap, and still got back in time to do the show. So, I'm celebrating 34 and a half. Because I was halfway to 69. Okay, Mr. Coach, and how long has it been since you've been waiting to use that joke somewhere? Oh yeah, I know, and um, yeah, it's very hard. It's it's time consuming, and sometimes I get mad at myself because I get mad at him, and I know it's really not his fault. Right, exactly. That's why I wanted to, make sure that he, did it. Even though it took 4.5 hours. First of all, it took him 25 minutes to find his drill. Um, in the drill, he he couldn't find the right chucks to put in the drill. Cat Daddy. Oh no, Coach, it's Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy. No, remember he was. Oh, remember when? Oh, when I was first in the wrestling, and he was our manager. He was Daddy Master, but now he's the Cat Daddy. Yeah, there's. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Yes, I know. And I do know that's because of like my cancer. I know some of you aren't familiar with a hospital here in Tampa called Moffitt Hospital, and they actually asked me if I would come down and speak to people who were going through cancer. And I said that I would love to do it, but I live close to an hour away. And like to do volunteer stuff, if I lived closer, I definitely would have, because I think that I have the personality, that I could do that. That I could, give you the facts and give you this. And I would try to make it a little fun and entertaining so that people who have cancer don't feel all depressed and all, it is what it is. You have it, so I wouldn't make it, like a Chris Rock comedy sketch, but if any of you know me and you know, I, try to be funny and when I do. Can you do it virtually? I asked them, and they want somebody there to do that. Jackie, it's very hard. Oh, you know, I really don't want to talk about cancer. I want to talk about more funny movies. Um, okay. What would a bunch of you consider to be probably the worst movie that you've ever seen in your life? I mean, not like Titanic or Forrest Gump or anything. Just the worst movie that you've ever remember seeing in your life. Oh yeah, and Sugar Britches. I know there's a lot of stuff, on YouTube. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, but the only thing that Al watches on YouTube, honestly, because I make him watch it, is like the wrestling shows when I'm on it. I make him watch. Or like say like if I'm fortunate enough to do like commentating, then I'll make him watch it. RV with Robin Williams. RV, yeah, Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah. Wolf Creek. Oh, I've never heard of that, Mama, but um, about a psycho in the Australian outback. Horrible horror movie. Well, there's not a lot of people in the Australian outback, so he must be really psycho if he's out in the outback. Oh, first of all, just being in the outback, you got to be a psycho, because the only thing out there is like like kangaroos and jackalopes. Um, Let me see. What would my worst movie be? Um, Trying to think. Knives Out and Wonder Woman, the first new one, walked out of the theater. I've never seen Knives Out, and you're talking about the Wonder Woman, like with Gil Gadot. Oh, that wasn't that bad. I've never heard of Knives Out. Lifestyle movies. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably the worst movies I've seen, and Sci-Fi Channel is notable for bad movies. Is any of like the Sharknado or like the Sharkadile and Octo Gator things? If you guys ever get a chance to watch like some of those like mutant animal like monster movies on sci-fi, well, Sharknado, any kind of Sharknado is terrible. Because um, I'm pretty creative and I'm pretty corny, but I never could have come up with the concept of a tornado picking up a bunch of sharks and then flying around and biting people in half. And um, another big budget movie that I really thought was really, really, really terrible. Um, Remember when like the Mayan calendars were gonna end in like 2012? There was the movie called 2012. Oh, that's one movie. Oh, that I walked out of. If you guys remember that, just because that was like traumatizingly bad. If you ever get to watch it and watch a bunch of decent actors, I think that John Cryer was in it, or I don't know. It wasn't a hokey kind of movie. They spent a lot of money on this movie called 2012. It is horrible. It is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. With a capital letter. I mean, every word in horrible, it was bad. Yes, there are some movies that are so awful that they're good. One movie like that, you have to see it, is from the 1950s, called Plan 9 from Outer Space. And I'm sure some people have heard of it. It's called the worst movie of all time. No, it's not, because it's so bad that you can't take your eyes off it. Oh, and another horrible, horrible movie, if you ever get to see it. There was a sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hey,
What? Called.
give me a little bit of help with the cat food to get you mixed up and then get mixed. Please,
All right.
I need help.
Yes, okay. I'll be out there to help you with the cat food in just a minute.
All right. I'll have you meow, meow, meow. And
Okay, but you can't figure out what cats get fed?
No, I don't know. Moist food or dry?
I'll be out there in a minute. It's a movie called Shock Treatment. It's a sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show. 50 Shades of Grey and Magic Mike were absolutely the cheesy, most of the best movies ever made. Alright guys, I have to go because I got to go feed the cats. Because he can't do it anymore. This is what I'm talking about. How, you know, just getting to the point where I honestly don't know how much more of this I can take. I'm good. So, I will see everybody when I do my Boyd wrestling picks. If I have anything important to say Wednesday, I might do a stream on Wednesday. If I don't know, I might have something to say. I don't know. Yes, and thank you everybody for what you're saying about his situation, because right now I'm the only one who can deal with it, because his family really doesn't give two shits. His son could give two shits. So, okay guys, I'll talk to you later. Thank you everybody for taking the time to come on and visit with me for an hour and 15 minutes at 5 o'clock. Later, guys. Thank you again, everybody, and thank you for your support. I need it.